summer living in a gay neighborhood in inner city Los Angeles, I discovered that there are many at-risk youth that are expressing themselves through the means of art. However, in 2008, the city of Los Angeles spent over $2 million on graffiti abatement, while the Los Angeles school districts cut all the funding in the art schools programs. So I ask you this question: where are these teens supposed to express themselves? What kind of legal venue do they have? I offer you this solution: Graff Lab. The vision for Graff Lab is to commission these teenage graffiti artists to design and develop specialty apparel such as t-shirts. We would then plan to market these t-shirts and use the profits to fund further education for these teenagers. The profits will go towards funding their design in graphic design courses, and then the idea is that once they have the certification, they will be more marketable later on. What is the market? Well, currently, t-shirts are being used to promote a lot of social causes. You have people supporting Going Green and various suicide prevention. So given that Los Angeles already has a surfing culture and a skateboarding culture, I think that Los Angeles would be more receptive to types of graffiti design presented on clothing that people wear. The idea is that eventually Graff Lab will start through grassroots marketing by targeting local stores to sell the products where the teenagers are already living. Then we will also raise awareness of the cause at schools like UCLA and USC so that people are aware of what's going on. By year 2, we hope to get music artists involved who will be willing to wear our t-shirts and promote it to their fan base. By year 3, we hope that retailers such as Urban Outfitters and Hot Topic, who we've already been talking to wholesale distributors for, will agree to adopt a nonprofit line so that they can sell our products to a consumer base that already exists. Right now, we need $5,000 in startup capital in order to make this happen. It's a small cost if you think about it, because the potential for helping these kids is a lot greater.
Good job. All right. Questions?
So, where will you? I don't think you mentioned this in your pitch. Where are the artists going to come from?
There's an area called Pico Union in Los Angeles that's right near the Staples Center, and after moving there this summer, there's about 40 to 50 graffiti artists that I know that kind of have a collective form, and basically what we're going to do is commission them to do the designs, and since they already have an established network, it would be a lot easier to have access to that.
So all of these graffiti artists, do you think they're interested in moving into more traditional classes in graphic design?
There's a possibility, but the way that we're going to have the organization set up is that they can apply to be part of a collective, and so that way we know that any artists that are submitting the designs are actually interested in this cause.
So you're getting the designs from the artists, but are you then taking them and have somebody else manufacture the shirts? Or are you also trying to produce the shirts as well? Or where
No, we're going to have someone else do the screen printing. There's already a company called Homeboy Industries that currently employs ex-team members to do silk screening. And so the idea is that if we can have every aspect of the production process actually done in inner city LA, it'll help support a wider base of people.
Where are you at now? Do you have any discussions going with retailers, wholesalers?
Yeah, we do actually. We've started a t-shirt contest, and they've actually submitted designs for Duke's Robotics Club. So we're actually going to have those printed. And then I've been in touch with a man named Ryan Tang who does wholesale for Urban Outfitters and Hot Topic, and he's planning on getting some of the designs and actually presenting it to them as a possibility in the future if we're able to get this underway. So.
$5,000 doesn't sound like a lot of money.
No, that's just for this initial stage when we're trying to just promote it on college campuses. And then we're hoping that once we see whether or not that's feasible, that in the future we can hopefully acquire more funding.
You're trying to do this in Los Angeles, but you're here in North Carolina. What's the plan with that?
I'm planning on starting it after I graduate. Initially, we're just kind of getting tests, and the whole idea of getting them to design a t-shirt for Duke Robotics was to see whether these kinds of designs would appeal to a consumer base outside of just those involved in the graffiti world, because you have to be very selective about which designs that you actually commission so that it's not just reflecting street culture.
All right, feedback?
Great story. Definitely understood the social need. I like how you introduced with that.
There's a lot of information there, which is good, but I would hone it down to a couple. I don't know, and you're asked to present a lot of. You're asked to hit a number of points, but if you can
definitely agree with all that. I would say maybe, yeah, definitely highlighting maybe some of like progress you have made. Speak more in the actual presentation about the conversations with Hot Topic or other designers who kind of provides a little more legitimacy and showing that other people are kind of buying into the idea and potentially supporting it as well. So that'll definitely help you out a little bit more.
All right, good job.
Yeah.
Great.